Watch this. Oh, it's disgusting. Look at that. Nasty. Nasty. You know, for being a fan of Chevrolets, I certainly get my fair share of Dodge, Ram, Chrysler products in here. We've got a 2013 Ram 1500 pick-em-up truck. Rear axle's been biopsied over here. We've got the rear cover off of it, and both of the axle shafts have been removed because we were looking for a noise. Look real close in there. There's a little sliver of metal sitting right there on this side of this wheel bearing. You see that little sliver of metal down there? That's not good. I believe that little sliver of metal is a bearing race, and I believe it's one of the pinion bearings on this differential. This thing was suffering from a helicopter grinding noise while driving. Started at 10 miles per hour and continued to increase in noise and frequency as speed increased in the vehicle. All right, go ahead and idle it up. All right, idle it down and then go ahead and shut it off. First thing I'm noticing is this differential's a little hard to get started when I want to turn it. See, it's got resistance, and then once you break that initial friction resistance, it wants to turn. But it feels kind of crustomatic. I don't know if you guys can pick up on the noise. Try to turn this. Hear that? Something in there is making some noise. So it's either one of the two pinion bearings or one of these two carrier bearings on this differential assembly here. So we're gonna go ahead and pull these caps out, pull this diff out of this unit, and we're gonna start dissecting bearings to figure out which one of these guys is the cause of our noise. And then we're gonna rebuild it. So stay tuned. This is gonna be a very good mechanical repair video. 11 millimeter socket. That's an 11. Weird. See that little guy? Take those guys off. Then we can pull the big bolts out of the caps here on the ends. Very good. Curvy angular pry bar. We're just gonna try to get behind this wherever we can. These bolts over here, let me show you. There's some bolts. Nope, that's not even a good angle here. Hang on, bear with me. There we go, now you can see. Yeah, these bolts pass through this plate here, and that's what bolts this ring. Okay, there we go, now we can see. So yeah, all these fasteners right here, they're gonna run through this plate, circular plate, which is part of the carrier, and that's what bolts the ring gear assembly to the carrier. So we're gonna pry on one of these bolts here to try to pluck this thing out. Bigger curvy angular pry bar. Didn't do much. Let's pull this cap back out. I think it's getting stuck now. My fear is dropping this unit. I tend to not drop giant metal pieces on cars, but it happens. Okay. Turn. There's a little bit of an indentation here. Maybe I can pry against that. Yep. Yeah, it's gonna come out some. And then on the left again on the bolt. There she comes. Okay, we're getting somewhere, I think. Yeah, it's moved out. Let's see here, where are we? It's coming out a little bit. We're almost there. Okay, let's try a smaller pry bar against the bearing races on either side. Didn't move. Didn't move. Are we stuck? Let's rotate it some, see if it wants to free up a little bit. Some of these have there's like a threaded big nut on the end of the axle tube as it protrudes the case, and it's threaded. This one looks threaded. Usually you can adjust that nut and get some extra clearance here, but this one doesn't seem to have that nut. So I don't get it. Okay, so we're getting kind of stuck here, and the rule of life is that when you don't know what to do, don't do anything, and if you're getting stuck, you need to take a step back, which is what I did. I took a bit of a step back here, and I kind of hammered this differential back in. So you see it's kind of free floating now. Earlier, I had mentioned, and I paid almost no mind to it, and I should have, when I took those little clippy things off the caps, I had said that those are usually there to lock into place like a locking nut that will prevent the nut on the axle from moving around and causing a loss of preload on the bearings here. What I mean by that is these bearings are kind of sandwiched in and pressed together against the differential, and that's what's called preload. Now, a lot of these Chryslers, they've got a threaded axle tube, and there's threads and a big nut around that threaded section. We can see the threads right here. Now, I had overlooked it stupidly because there is no nut there. What I realized is inside of the hole, that whole threaded section there is in fact the nut. It's not a threaded tube, it's a threaded insert into the case. We pulled out the bearing on this side, and if you look down, do you see way down in there all those little squares are on the perimeter of that flat thing? That's actually the threaded nut that we're looking at right here. All those little squares are what's coming through. You can see through that hole right there, maybe. Shine the light around the corner here. See if you can't see what I'm trying to show you, so you can see what I need you to see. Put that in there. Yeah, there you go. You see all that? Now, I was like, okay, so that requires a socket to turn that. I was trying to turn it with a screwdriver in here, and it's just not doable due to the limited amount of space. There's no other access holes anywhere where I can get in there with a tool to turn this thing. We can't turn it by the threads with pliers or chisels because that'll destroy it. But what's happening here is the section of this differential carrier that the bearing is pressed over is actually protruding inside of that nut on both sides. So those nuts have to be backed off in order to get this thing to come out, because you can see the bearings aren't hanging on to it. It's the actual shaft that the bearings are on the diff. So we need to unthread that thing. So what I thought, I would take a typical axle nut socket and stick it in the hole there and use that with these little fingers to engage those little flats, those little flat square engagement tabs on the nut. But the diameter of that nut is larger than this diameter here. So although I can get this socket to pass into the axle, these little tangs will not engage those flats. So I'm like, okay. I look back in the hole. Now, I know that there's got to be a tool to do this with, which means something on that nut has to engage. And if you look at the center of that nut, you can see it's a hex shape, okay? So I'm like, well, I don't have the tool. I'll make one. So I did, I made one. What I've done here is I found an axle nut socket and I ran a bolt through it, put a nut on the end of it, so now I can engage this with an extension and a socket. And we're gonna do that right now. We're gonna make that thing turn, and I'm gonna get this differential to come out. So put that right there for now. I've already got a ratchet and an extension and a socket set up for the end of this. So watch this right here. This is gonna be masterfully perfect. See that? Now we've got a drive tool. So we're gonna take this thing and stick it all the way down in the axle there and engage it with, hope we can see, with that little nut business inside. So let me see if I can do this with just two hands. Put that thing forward. Yeah, you see it in there now. And I need to move it around until it engages in the flat. Yeah, look in there. Can you guys see? Let's try to get this right. Yeah, now you can sort of almost see. I'm trying to make you guys see, me see, everyone sees, and we can operate the tool here with just 2 hands. I need an extra one, but 2 should do it. I think we're in. Oh yeah, yep, that's engaged. Let's turn it a little bit left. See if we can't see that thing rotate in there. Oh yeah, see that? See it turn? That's what we need. I'm gonna turn this thing, and the flashlight's gonna shut off. There we go. Now what's happening is that nut, that big threaded thing, is unthreading and backing away. It's gonna give us clearance for this differential to clear the housing. Turn a little bit more and see what it does. Can you see it turning in there? That's what we need. Oh yeah, the differential moved too. Beautiful. Get some speed out of it. Let's see if we have enough clearance here to, it's gotta come out. I don't think so. Not yet, a little bit more. All right, it does not want to turn anymore. And that was kind of it. Let me go in there and pluck the tool out. Yeah, the tool's still in the nut, and it's probably hanging up the differential now. So let's pry that thing out of there. Oops, sorry, hit you guys. Sorry, I'm punching you with my screwdriver here. Not great. Hit it with a hammer. Release. There we go. I heard it released. It's flopping around in the axle now. And I still can't get the diff out. Okay. See, all right, look, one side. You see the protrusion right there. One side's starting to pop out. Is my flashlight dead? Nope. That side's coming out. This side's still a little captured. So, we need to pull this side loose next. We need to pluck this bearing and this seal out. So I've got a bearing puller device on the end of a slide hammer. It's a hammer that slides. It truly is a linear impact driver. There's our bearing and wheel seal. So, very good. So now, I'll go in there with my tool thing again and engage that nut. There we go. All the way down the hole. Think we're there. Good. Okay, I'm pressing in because that little nut thing's pretty thin, so I'm pushing in on this so the socket can't slip out. And we're just gonna give it some turns, and it's mighty stiff. Oh, that does not want to turn. Okay. Well, I hope I've got enough clearance. Yeah, those didn't really want to come out any further. I think it's gonna come out. What a pain. All right, there's one race. There's one bearing. Diff's out. Okay, so we're around the other side. Got a pneumatic hammer here. We're gonna use that indentation to hammer on the pinion. Try to push the pinion in. Really? Not a chance. Turn the gun up. Okay, need a bigger gun. Round 2, fight. Bigger gun. Louder impact noises. Okay, I give up. Is it moving, Dave?
That stopped.
Did it? Oh. Well, the pinion gear bearing's coming out, at least. Whew. Okay. All right, let's get in here and see what we can see. There it is. There's a noise right there. Chewed up pinion race, see it? Right there, that's all crust-o-matic and chewed up. Okay, so here, yeah, there's my little tool. See that was coming through? Yeah, just like that. It came right through the little hex. And it was engaging this bit of nut business right here. So if I ever needed to change this, you've got to unscrew it this way, then screw a new one back in, and then use that to set your preload. This right here presses against the races on the side bearings. See that right there? So that's going to push against this race. It does it from both sides. That's how you set your left and right clearance, and that's also, where'd it go? Where's the diff? Where's the diff? Oh, on the ground. That's how you set your preload on these side bearings right here. So this race looks pretty good. We're gonna change it. No, it doesn't. That one's all chewed up too a little bit. Yeah, we're gonna change that one, that one, that one. We're rebuilding everything inside of this diff. That's what we're doing here today. So, waiting on parts. I'm gonna go ahead and knock these races out. There's that one in the rear. I wonder how that got that way. Yeah, that front one's chewed up a little bit too. I see some pits right here in it. Okay, so we need 2 pinion bearings, 2 pinion races, 2 axle bearings, and I'll probably do the differential carrier bearings while I'm at it. So now, we're gonna gently tap this race out through the front with a little chisel and another linear impact. So you're gonna come right out, or we're gonna have to get the air tool out. It's not coming right out. Air chisel. Fight. All right, well, we got the front one out. So now, I know it's kind of dark on this side. We'll do the same thing with the rear pinion bearing. That guy is right there. See that little lip? We're just gonna run that guy out with the impact next. It's moving. Got it. Woohoo! Okay, let's get the new one in here. There's our old one. There's a new race right there. I cut my finger when you guys weren't looking. Just set that in like so. Get it prepped for driving. Okay, so I need to drive that in. Got a bearing installer here. but this one is too small. This is the biggest one in my kit. So I cannot use this to drive that bearing in. If we try it, it's gonna put dents on the inside surface, and then the thing is just gonna do the same thing that we're trying to fix. So I'm gonna use this little cone for the wheel balancer. It fits the outer diameter of the bearing perfectly, so when I hammer on this, it's gonna be hammering on the flat, not the friction surface. So what we're going to do is drop this and break some stuff. Just gonna get that in there and hold it on. I've got my finger on the bottom of it so I can kind of gauge where it's at, and I'm just gonna try to tap this in. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do it with the air hammer. The air hammer will work way more better than an actual hammer. Normally you would never use power tools to install bearings, but I've screwed up enough stuff in my past where I think I can do this confidently without screwing it up right here in the present. So, let's let it rip. The cone's still lined up. Slippage. We did a little bit. A little bit more. Yep. This is working. Good. So now that this thing it's a little bit countersunk past the edge of the diff, so we're going to take the old race, slide that, hold it over top, and then use this to finalize the seating of the new race. What? I think we got it. There's a shim back behind this. I left it in there. That's the spacing shim for clearances. So I left that original shim in there, and that shim won't rotate. So we do have some pressure from this bearing pushing against the shim that tells me that this bearing race is fully seated in the differential. Okie doke. So here at the front, got the front pinion area cleaned out. There's our replacement front pinion bearing race, and this one I can put in with a seal driver, I think. Tight squeeze. I wish I had a nitrogen tank to freeze this stuff. That'd be super cool. Yeah, it's gone. Here, let me back you guys up a little bit. I need to get some swing behind this. Oh, that's a heavy hammer. All right, it's starting to bounce, so I do believe that is seated. Let's go around the back here and we'll take a look at the spacing. I think it's in. Oh yeah, yep, that's sitting flush. You see it right there, that's flush. And then the bright light right there is flush also. Take my word for it, I know you can't see. So that guy's flush. So the two pinion races are installed. Dave's got the bearings pressed off of that pinion right there, and he's going to do the side bearings next. Dave, was there a shim behind that pinion bearing, or did it just sit flush on the pinion?
No, I did not see, unless it's already there. There may be a shim.
It might be it right there. I don't think so. Even if there is a shim there, we're going to leave it. So here, press, do me a favor, press that one on real quick, and then I can get that side of this assembled, put back together, and then when the diff's done, we'll slap the diff in, set preload, and maybe get done. I don't think we're gonna get this done today. This has been a painstakingly pain in the booty type of job. Here, we can clean off the old oil though. We can do that. Get all that nasty out of there. Yeah, the smell that we smelled was this oil in here cooking off because that bearing was running super hot. That's why this particular differential stunk so bad. It cooked all the oil. That's your advantage of running a higher end oil also. It resists thermal breakdown, which could have been the cause of the bearing failure to begin with. Too much heat. Okie dokes. So, got this thing cleaned out, sprayed out real nice like. A little bit of dirt in there still, but no worries. Got the pinion, the new bearing on it, crush washer, and then the outer pinion bearing that's gonna press on, but from the other side. So we'll take this guy, stick it in like so, and that's where it's going to live. Alright, so there, let's reach through here. It's about as far as it's gonna go. I gotta use the nut to sort of press that together. Let me get the nut out. We'll thread it up. I had to go make something for a spacer. I took an old alternator pulley, chopped it off, because I don't want to, I usually, when I set these things up, I'll go ahead and put the yoke on the front with the seal, and then set up pinion, the crush washer for the pinion. I don't want to really do that this time. I really hate doing that method. So this time I'm going to try to set this pinion preload up without the seal in it, and then I can come back in afterwards and then install the seal. I think that will work. Actually, I don't have enough space. I know. I'll use the old crush washer. Yeah, there's the old one. There's the new one. Yep, just making sure. Ooh, this thing's hot from when I cut it. Warm. So yeah, put the old crush washer on it. Let's do it like this. There, now I've got enough spacing in here to press this this bearing onto the pinion. Bear with me, I know it's not the greatest for viewing pleasure. Sorry. Centered-ish. So I'm reaching in, I'm holding the pinion. Just gonna tighten this down a little bit, see if that bearing starts to go. Tearing my glove up. Getting there. Okay, we've got a little bit of back and forth still. You guys hear that? That's the crush washer not giving preload to the bearings just yet. Okay, let's take it back out. Inspect a couple things. Old crush washer stuck. There we go. Yeah, we were crushing into the aluminum. That's about as far as it's gonna go. But we're decent for right now. That's probably okay. Maybe I'm gonna go ahead and put the seal in, I suppose. We'll clean this up with some brake clean, put the seal in and then the hub, and then we'll finish the crush. This glove is ineffective. It should have been my grip tight gloves. These are some generic Harbor Freights. Oh, I'm sorry, grip tensity gloves. Available at rainmanauto.com. We can use these ones. I bet I won't tear these ones up as much as these ones here. They're a little bit thicker and they're ribbed for my pleasure. Since we're shamelessly plugging products for sale on the website, there you go. Make that nice and shiny like. Well, that turns way more better than the first time. So throw a bit of lubricant in there on those bearings while we're here. Spin it around, lubricate it. It's leaking on my gun. Now the bearings are lubed, good. Take our seal. Just tap it on in there. One word, seal driver. I know. There. And for fun, I'll throw some oil on the seal. Nice and lubricated like. Very good. Next, we wipe off the sealing surface on the pinion flange. Clean that thing up. It's going to spline in. Tight squeeze too. Take our nut. Now there's still no preload because this thing's flipping flopping all over the place. I think that's all she wrote for the gun. Okay, we need to do this manually now. So here's what we're gonna do. Take this punch, stick through that hole, and that thing is gonna hang out right there on that lip. See that? So now, this is gonna hold that pinion stationary. I can come in here with a big ratchet in the socket and start cranking on this to crush that crush washer. Pull the truck off the rack. Okay, I do believe that that play is gone. I don't feel it moving, but we're still a little loose. Let's go a little bit more. The spec on how to measure this is you put a beam style analog torque wrench on here, a 1/4 inch drive, and you're looking for like 20, 30 inch-pounds of torque to break resistance on the bearing, because there's going to be some frictional resistance on that bearing. And we're looking for an X amount of inch-pounds before that resistance is overcome. Whoa! Slippage. There we go. No, not yet. More, I say. You want more? You can't have any more. Yeah. One more turn. It was tight and then it got loose again. So I wonder if I did not have one of those bearing races fully seated. Let's give it another little bit of a turn. This is a lot of work. Oh yeah, it turned easier too. So I definitely got that bearing to seat. A little too tight. I got it too tight. I don't feel the individual bearings. There's no in play. I think that's good. I'm happy with that. That feels great. And here's the apparatus that I speak of. We got a beam style 1/4-inch driver, a bunch of bits that step it up. All right. And we're looking for 17 to 22 foot-pounds breakaway torque. That's the torque that's going to read on the gauge before this thing turns. Okay. Watch it, watch it, watch it. There's 15, 16, yeah, right about. We're close. See that? So let's go the other way. Ah, beautiful. Okay, so I'd say we're in spec. It looks good, it feels good, it turns good, it is good. So the differential's over here in the press. Dave had to cut one of these races out. One of them we managed to get off with the puller, but the other one not so much. So we had to cut the race off that one. Now we're just gonna go ahead and press these new bearings onto this carrier and we can get it ready for installation. Yep, you ran out.
Yeah, he's cutting the right part to use.
Oh, he's cutting that out, that race out of there? Yeah, you ran out of space on that one.
I figured I'd go as far as I can.
You got close though, super close. Cassidy's over here chopping this basket off. Yeah, put your hand out, grab that. Ooh, I almost stabbed you.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's not. Getting stabbed at work is bad. Better than getting shot, I guess, but nobody wants to get stabbed at work.
I don't think I'd get shot at work.
Would you rather get shot or stabbed? What do you think?
I don't know how to get shot at work, so but that'd probably be a cooler story.
A cooler story. Assuming you survive the event, yeah. I'd rather get shot than stabbed, I think. I think getting stabbed would hurt more. Dave's like, what kind of conversation is this? Put that right there. So the idea is this surface will act on that bearing surface without interfering too much with anything else. Think that's gonna work? I don't know. I think that might slip out. Try it, see what happens. Send it. It's either gonna work or it's not, right? Yeah, you're flush, you're good. Release the Kraken. Yeah, that little lip right there is why we couldn't get this thing to come out. That was the problem right there, that little protrusion. Okay, cool, flip it, get that other one. We're almost there. We might get this done today. Nice shades.
Not mine.
Hey, you didn't get that haircut. Hey, audience poll, does Cassidy need a haircut? He's got his sunglasses on, so he's got his hater blockers going, so we can scrutinize the do. What do you guys think? Haircut? I mean, you do have majestic long locks. You truly do.
You know how long it used to be, right?
Dude, you remember when I had long hair?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was like way down past the shoulders.
I was here, bro.
That's, yeah, you might want to get a haircut.
I got mistaken for a girl a couple times.
That's violence. Nice. That's fantastic. Oh, I got it. Sweet. All right, let's get this. Hopefully this is gonna go back in easier than it came out. I think it will. Let's get her back. Bring it on over. Let's rip some of that nasty out. All right, bring it on over. Let me help you. Take some weight there. Oh, good. Let me go. Cass, will you grab those 2 bearing races off the my service car right there? Red cart. Red cart where the sockets are. There's 2 races. You see them? 1 and 2. Turn it this way some. There we go. Okay. Watch the flanges there, Dave. Oh, nice.
Like budding.
Now it's in. Beautiful. Okay, I need to grab my tool and tighten that down some, tighten that down some, squeeze these together. Dirt off of that. There's the tool. Tool is engaged. Let's turn it down. Oh, it doesn't want to turn now. That's awesome. There it goes. Yeah. There it is. Turns nice and easy. Turn my flashlight off while I was doing it. Sides. That one stopped actually. Let me back it off some. Let's go do the other side. It's stuck. Now it's unstuck. That was pure wizardry. We almost got it. Put that in the hole some. Nobody can see. There you go. Pure wizardry.
What school of magic did you go to get that done?
I grew up poor, so I have to figure things out.
Wizard 101.
That's the school of magic. There's sometimes no option. Figure things out. That's actually that's the only option.
There you go.
Oh!
Gravity.
Tell me I did not just destroy that drive shaft.
Yeah,
No. Okay. No, if it put a dent in the drive shaft, it would have been ruined.
Okay.
$1,000 gone. There we go. That one turned. There, now we're cooking. Perfect. All right, cool. Let's go check the clearance. Okay, tell me when that starts feeling tight.
That's probably good right there.
All right, good, because my socket business over here stopped. All right. Here, let her go. It won't fall out, I know that. Tell you what, let's put the caps back on and pull these bearings down flat. Then we'll leave them loose and then we'll adjust in play. Let's do that.
Oh, I like that flashlight right in my eye.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did not realize that my Olight caused your retinal damage. Pardon me. I thought you were wearing sunglasses.
I was.
Well, now you know. Okay, we got one cap kind of cleaned up. It's stained with nasty burnt oil, but there's one. What I'm going to do here is we're going to thread these down, tighten them up a little bit, just to seat those bearing races. It will break them loose. That way the race can move back and forth, and I'll adjust both of these axle nuts to walk this differential left and right until that play that play goes away. This is actually play between the pinion gear in there and the ring gear. So we need to move the diff over some to take up some of that space. That's the tactic here. That one goes right there. There we go. Okay, so those races are now fully seated against the housing. Take these loose. Let's do hand tight. Hand tight and hand tight, good. So I'm gonna loosen this side, tighten that side, push the diff over, reduce clearance. I'm gonna skip all that because you guys aren't really gonna be able to see, feel, or know what I'm doing. I'm just gonna show you the end result, and then we're good. So I back that off a little bit, go around to the other side. I'm gonna cut scene right now. I'll be back when that's all nice and set up. Okay, so I've been back and forth about 37 different times trying to set this up, and I think I've got it. I'm reaching around to grab a hold of the pinion. Listen for the preload spacing in there. Much smaller spacing. If I go to move that guy, much smaller spacing. So let's get some final torque on these guys right here. Torque wrench it. Fellas are going to throw the drive shafts back in, and then we'll get this thing reassembled and lubricated. We return with torque wrench cam. Let's hit these at 100 foot-pounds of torquages. And once that's hit at 100, we're good. And right now they're loose. More. Click. Stickage. Next. Inverted clicks. It's fantastic. You guys getting vertigo yet? I'm sorry. There we go. All right, 100 pounds on all four of those caps. That's good. Throw the axles in. Okay. So these little clips that I didn't pay any attention to have some little spiky bits on them, and I guess those engage on the actual threads for that spinning nut inside of there. They just touch the thread. That explains why I was having a hard time loosening that, because those things would have put a little indentation in the thread and boogered the thread up, making it hard for me to remove. Now I see why I couldn't get those to turn. Is it raining?
Yep.
Wow. That was out of nowhere. Okay.
Florida.
Okay, let's booger up these threads again so the next guy can't do the job. Tighten that down. There was a better way to do this, I think. Okay, let's get the axles in place. Dave is standing by with axles, so I'm gonna fish the pin out. Come here, pin. We pulled the set screw, pulled the centering pin out. Spider gears are in there hanging out. Axles are gonna come through. Then we can C-clip it. I'll take that clip. You got your axle? Oh, you're already prepped. Yeah, send it. Which side's my... I think it's this one. Okay, pull it back. Okay, other side. I'll take your clip. He's pushing the axles through. Go ahead, yep. Here, hold that pin for me. Grab the pin. Put that clip in there. Go ahead and pull it back. Very good. Oop, too far. There it is. Nice. Click. Good. Okay, so we're tight. New bearings, new bolts, preload set. We've got pinion set, preload set there. Axle shafts are in. Brakes are on. We just need to throw the cover on and throw some oil in there, and then we can start this and run it and see if the sound goes away. I'm about 900% confident that the sound will go away. As soon as I get these bolts in here, we can grab some fluid. Cass, let me see that gun. Thank you, sir. Red RTV all over this thing. You guys see that? These are replacement bolts too. These aren't the factory ones. They look different. Cass, you should be holding one more of these bolts, right, bro?
Nah,
you got one more?
I found another bolt, which kind of like it though.
That's the one. What? Why? Why would you do that to me? Don't scare me like that. Will you grab me a ratchet? Yeah. Quarter drive. There's their fill plug right there. Piece of rubber. Just hold that. Where's the oil for this diff at? Do we know?
What kind of?
Dave knows. Dave's got it. Dave's got it somewhere.
Save oil for this diff? Is it in that bucket? It's in that little crap. Okay.
Grab it and then grab the diff machine so we can pump it in. Okay. Yeah, bring that over here and plug it in. We need to give this a couple minutes though to let the RTV start to set up. Clickage. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, so the diff machine is full of fluid. Just gonna fire this thing up and pump it in. And turn the valve off with the safety. Uh-oh, machine's not turning on. Oh, you gotta plug it in. Here, let me hold that. We forgot to plug the machine in. Masters of the universe, right? Is that on use to fill? Yeah. And we are filling. See? Ultimate pouring. Ultimate pouring things. Horizontal pouring things. This is fantastic. Dave, tell me when the jug's gonna run out so I don't spill this everywhere. You can't tell? Oh, it's gonna be bad when I run out of fluid. It's gonna spray everywhere. Oh.
Pretty low right now.
That was awesome. Did you see that, Cass? No. Bro, watch this, watch this.
I'll do it again. You're almost out.
I gotta do it. I'm attempt fate.
Oh, you're out.
There it is. I'm out. It's gonna start going.
Oh, I had a little bit more.
All right.
I heard the pump change. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. And it's full. Good to go. Here's that little plug. Here, we'll plug that guy in. All right. Well, now we can throw the wheels on. Let's, yeah, we're gonna let it down, put the wheels on real quick like, and start it, run it, and make sure that that grinding horrendous noise is gone and solved. There you go, stick that in there. Okay, starting the engine, sir.
Starting the engine.
Keep the foot on the brake.
Foot's on the brake.
Yeah, I know, I was just listening to that horrendous engine knock that it had after sitting here over the weekend. Does this thing have oil pressure? We didn't change oil in it, did we?
It's right in the middle, yeah.
That scares me. Huh, okay. Yeah, no worries. All right, it's just doing Dodge things. That's normal. Don't worry about it. All right, go ahead and put it in drive for me, sir. Let the foot off the brake. Let it ride. Speed it up. Let me get like 20 miles an hour on the speedometer. That is not a leak. That's from when I was dumping oil in it. I hear no grinding. This diff sounds super quiet. Beautiful. Fantastical. Testicles. All right, man. Push the brake. Push it more. Push it more harder. There you go. Put it in park. And shut her down. And then climb on out. We're good to go. Cool beans. Love it. Success. All right, guys. We only have to put the sway bar back up and recover the flashlight. Take this out an actual road test. We're going to spray off a couple things down there. Might as well just do that right now and finish wasting that can of brake clean. And after that, this one is donezo and good to go. So having said that, as always, we would like to thank you for watching this video. Let us know what you think about this operation in the comment section down below. And most importantly, have yourselves a fantastic day. See you guys later in a video, in a day, in a Dodge rear end, in a transmission.
What's the throat when it's empty, man? It's still half full.
Oh, if I throw it hard enough, it'll self-empty.
Fair enough.